Tonight's guests make up 2/7 of the biggest-selling British bands of the 80s.
They're the Nutty Boys having a very nutty year. When you need someone to play on the roof of Buckingham Palace and Brian May's out saving badgers, who do you call?
Could it be Madness?
It must be, love.
Ah.
Please welcome from Madness, Suggs and Chas Smash. So, it's been a great year, hasn't it?
Not bad, Chris.
One of the best, you think, Suggs?
But probably, yes.
Yeah, for
yes.
Madness?
I mean, no one could have expected that the Queen would invite us to her party and the Olympics would be in London in the same year. We'd be invited to both, no.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And not only did she invite you to her house, she let you play on the roof. How did that happen?
Well, you know, some of the lead needed replacing, so it's light-fingered young chaps to start the process. It happened because we were asked to play at the Jubilee, and then, I don't know, there was a story of us being on the main stage, and maybe somebody didn't want us down there, and thought, get them out of the way. Yeah. Stick them as far away as we can get them.
But it became the highlight, didn't it, of the night?
It would seem that way. I don't remember ever having a reaction, anything like what we got to that, no.
In the middle of our street, our house.
To be playing on the roof of Buckingham Palace is one thing, but to get that whole video projection, it's just, I bet you couldn't believe it, could you?
No, there was actually an audible gasp when we turned this bit here, where we turned the flats, Buckingham Palace into a block of flats. I think people actually thought it had collapsed.
It's absolutely
But
brilliant.
is it right that you've got a problem with heights as well? Because you were pretty high up there.
I'm not mad on heights, no.
No.
When we rehearsed on the Friday, when there was no one there, I found it a lot more difficult than when there was a crowd, obviously because the adrenaline was going and it was, you know, you weren't really thinking about where you were in outer space at that point, yeah.
Good, all right. And is it true as well that you spoke to the Queen afterwards and you did a bit of a Tommy Cooper joke?
Yeah, I did, yeah. You know, the Queen comes along, you really don't know what to say, do you? Have you met the Queen, Chris?
I've actually met the Queen.
Oh, what did you say to her?
I said, is it true you listen to Terry's show? And she said, I'm now taking over the story. She said, I don't really have time to listen to the radio at all.
Well, the first thing was an old Tommy Cooper. I said to her, excuse me, Mum, are you still into football? And she said, no, not really. I said, can I have your cup final tickets then? And she said...
Did you really, though?
It's on
Chas,
YouTube.
did you witness this?
It's a good story, and it's a great story.
There we have the
Great moment.
All right.
Great moment.
Well, House of Fun is one of the boys' biggest hits, of course. So tonight, we're asking how much fun you're having in your house right now.
You know the drill. Send us a picture. We'll share some at the silliest later if we get them. Plus, we'll have the premiere of a very special remake of the Baggy Trousers.
Now, we've already spoken about your amazing year, the Jubilee, and the fact that you did the closing ceremony. So which one of those two massive gigs were you most nervous about then, Chas?
I don't know if I was nervous. I think the whole thing was so surreal. It was a bit like walking through a marshmallow dream, you know.
Yeah.
Both were different. You know, the royal protocol, when you're around the royals, it's sort of, you know, very stiff and you've got to be on your best behaviour.
Which one did you find out about first, then, the Jubilee or the Olympics?
I think we found out about the Olympics first, didn't we?
Yeah, the Olympics first, yeah. And there was a bit of argy-bargy about playing at our house at both.
Yeah.
Queen, but I said the Queen was going to appear at both, so she wants us to, you know, we'll perform at both. But the Olympics for me was more nerve-wracking, yeah, because we were hanging around for a long time in a sort of waiting hangar. The One Direction on a lorry next to us, and then there were the Pet Shop Boys riding bicycles with traffic cones on their heads to the left. It was all getting a bit overwhelming, and I had to say to Carl quickly, what's the first line of our house?
I'd forgotten, yeah.
Just before we were unleashing ourselves in front of...
Is that the most nervous you've ever been, do you think?
I think pretty much, yeah. I mean, in front of 75 trillion billion...
It was very awesome.
And we were on the back of a truck, and there was nothing to hang on to, so there was every opportunity to fall off as well. So, fortunately, we didn't.
But you didn't. You're hanging on. You have a brand new album out?
Yes, you do.
OK. Now, there's been a lot of talk about the title of this album, which actually, in the end, made up the design of the album cover. Tell us about that story.
Well, as you can see from the cover, there was lots of ideas about what we should call it. And we went to Peter Blake. He said he'd do a painting for us, which obviously we respect him. And
Peter Blake of Sergeant Pepper.
Sergeant Pepper.
Yep.
Worked with Paul Weller as well.
So the final title is Wee Wee CC, Ya Ya Dada.
Well, tell.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah, because that's all the titles that we went through, and you know, people in our management were saying, do you really want to show the sort of indecision that this band have? But Peter Blake said, the only thing is, just don't tell me you've changed your mind. And, of course, we did, and there are all the changes. He said, well, I'm going to just write out all the titles and cross them out. And we ended up with Wee Wee CC Ya Ya Da Da, which is just You know,
Yes,
an
yes,
affirmation.
yes, 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 yes.
yes. Which pretty much sums us up. You know, it's about an affirmation of life. That's what we really are about, yeah.
And on the new album, there's a new single, but it's a sequel, isn't it, to a song you sang many, many years ago, My Girl.
Yeah, Mike Barson wrote that one. He's also written this one. I'm not sure exactly who My Girl 2 is, but that's his, you know, there obviously is a second person in his life. And, yeah, that's the name of the song.
Let's have a look.
Thank you.
I've been wondering about you and the things you do. I'm in love, but you drive me mad. Be so sad to be losing you. But last night, when we had that fight in your car, you left me in the dark.
I heard a story about the fact you're trying to up the average speed of the BPM in the charts over the last couple of decades. What does that mean for people who don't know what we're talking about?
Beats per minute, yeah. I mean, we've always tried to keep the same energy. I mean, obviously we write words now from the perspective of being old men, which we are, but we try and keep the music as lively as it was when we were younger, yes.
And you've got this theory that music is slowing down, haven't you?
Well, from House 1 to 120, it's gone down to about 95, down to 87.
But it's so lively. Is it true that you actually created an earthquake? Well, it did register, didn't it? On
1992 it was, yeah.
Is that true?
It is true,
It's
yeah.
very true.
Yeah, Glasgow
happened?
Seismic Centre. One Step Beyond started, 36,000 fans jumping up and down on top of a reservoir. Seismic Centre up in Scotland. Ladies' flats reverberated. A sofa went across the room, windows cracked.
And his poor seismologist rang the police and said, I think it was the madness.
Yeah.
They were sceptical.
That's
They were
brilliant.
sceptical.
You literally made the earthquake. That's fantastic. And you do it again, 23rd of November. You start in Butlins through to the 22nd of December. 14 dates. It was 12. You finish off with 2 at the O2.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Definitely the effects, I think, of a brilliant year we've had, I think.
Well, rock and roll. Well done, my friends.
It's
It's
touring
still here.
different now, though.
33 years, by the way, Madness together. Did you ever think the sentence would be so long?
The batches have almost run out, Chris.
How different is touring now, though, to back then?
I mean, it's different in the sense that I can remember most of it. I mean, when I was 18, it was pretty much a blur of whatever it is a blur of when you're
I heard
that
you were
age.
really hardcore on tour. Honestly, I heard Madness was one of the hardcore tours.
I think some people have been quite surprised by our drink rider, the size of it at times.
All right,
Yeah,
how
I
many
mean,
people have
the
been in
bath.
Madness? Because there's usually 7. How many ex-Madness people are watching this evening?
There's only one who isn't in the band at the moment, Mark, our bass player. But people do come and go. There are so many.
There's a story there. Right, we've got to
We
move
can't
on.
tell
Yeah,
where
we
the
have to
bodies are
move on.
buried. You know.
All right, we'll have a bit of food news now.
OK. And
So what do we want most? His barn conversion or his eyebrows?
The eyebrows.
The eyebrows.
The eyebrows. His eyebrows should be listed, I think, for the sake of the nation, so we can all gather around them.
Top man. Very good.
They were fantastic.
And you've drunk some peppermint tea when you were off ill last week, Jay.
Oh, you say the nicest. Yeah, I was sick as a dog last week, which is why I wasn't here. But peppermint tea is a great way of kind of getting the nausea down.
And it helped.
Should we move on from that, though? I don't want to live it again. It wasn't nice.
We're glad you're back.
What are we growing in Britain that we haven't grown for a while or at all?
Those twigs in front of you
Yes.
are, in fact, the root, licorice root.
like licorice?
It used to be very, very popular
love
around
that.
Pontefract. Pontefract cake is a licorice sweet.
Thank you very much.
Brought into the area in the 1500s, it's thought by monks. But it pretty much died out. But there's a farmer, Robert Copley. I believe we have a picture of Robert Copley.
Bob Copley.
Bob Copley. He's planted the crop on his land, and for the next couple of years, he hopes to be harvesting a couple of tons of good licorice root. It will be nice and green rather than the woody stuff that you're
Lovely.
stuffing in
Not
your
bad,
gobs
No.
here.
Don't mind these
Very
at all.
nice.
What else?
Well, there are some interesting things. For example, saffron. Now, saffron used to be a very important spice in Essex. That's why there are towns, Saffron Walden, place like that.
Yeah.
Still
say that.
worth more weight for weight than gold.
Wow.
It had stopped being grown in such number. It's grown now in Wales and has been since 1985.
Give us something extraordinary.
All right, something
Exotic.
extraordinary. Chris, there are melons being grown in Kent and Staffordshire.
Melons in Kent and Staffordshire.
It can only be madness.
Hey!
That went OK, though.
That's a good segue.
Let me give you another one.
Go on.
Kids, stand by.
Since 2006, they've been growing tea on the Tregothlan estate in Cornwall, but they are now about to start growing both coffee and bananas in Cornwall.
Coffee bananas in
Cornwall.
Cornwall. That's madness. This is up for an award, this one.
Yeah, give us another one, Jeff.
How far do you think we can go with this? All right, wasabi.
Yes.
Wasabi, fantastic stuff. It's a Japanese root. We eat a lot of it, although most of the wasabi we get here tends to be a little bit wasabi, a lot of horseradish, a bit of other stuff. It's dyed green. This is fresh wasabi, and it is grown in Dorset by a farmer called Tom Amory.
Wasabi grown in Dorset.
You're joking.
That's acceptable.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I mean, you know, it is an extraordinary thing. You grind it down. Oh, are they really disappointed over there? They didn't get to dance. To
It's madness! Come on, kids!
There you go.
Got to give the kids what they want. They're the
What do you like
future.
about that, Chaz?
Wasabi, yeah.
It's, just lick it clean. It's really powerful stuff, and it knocks you out, but it grows near water.
Say what, don't give it to our guests.
I've been wanting to do that to a guest on the
Where's the peppermint tea?
but now it's starting to be grown here, and it's the fact that all of these things are being grown here is a testament to changing tastes in Britain. We're more interested in certain kinds of foods, so now you can grow melons, you can grow saffron, you can grow wasabi.
Brilliant.
All right, so you're mad, you're happy houses. In fact, you've sort of written your own theme for this. I'm watching you on BBC, Chris. I'm 9 weeks old on Monday from Baby Danny. Great handwriting, Baby Danny.
Yeah. This is Freya. She's just hanging around whilst watching the One Show. That's from her dad, Pete. Very good.
OK, what about this? What about swing in your kitchen? Who doesn't want to swing in their kitchen? That's Louise in Herefordshire. Well done, Louise.
And this is Fraser. He's 10 months old from Shetland, getting a quick bath while we're on.
Yeah, with his red eyes. Little camera red eye there.
Bath in the sink.
Oh, love
It's like a little Matt Luke.
Yeah. Well, those are your houses. Now, would you like... OK, that was Len's house.
Yeah.
But Our House, the musical, is back, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's the 10th anniversary of the musical called Our House, which is based on the Songs of Madness. It's on at the Savoy Theatre for one night, November the 11th, and I'm starring in it, and it's all in aid of Help for Heroes.
Brilliant.
Did I get that right? Most of that was right, wasn't it?
That's pretty good.
it was.
Okay.
OK,
That's
more
their
photos.
house. So what about your house? OK,
More
we got we had Len's house, their house, your house. What about Spider-Man infiltrating this house here? That's their son George, a.k.a. Spider-Man, saving the world before bedtime and in front of the telly.
Great. Suggs?
I've got Lucas, Chiara and Toby having a sleepover during the show. No central heating in the house then. That's a bit sad, isn't it, really?
And here's Olivia tucking into a yoghurt surrounded by her dad's balloons. Happy as can be.
And this is from Kenneth Narmin. This is our Friday night, they say.
Lovely.
Fighting.
I'm going around there.
That's almost it for our Friday night. But, Suggs, do you remember baggy trousers? Everybody loves baggy trousers. Do you remember where you shot the video for?
Yeah, it was a school, I forget the name, but it was in Islip Street in Kentish Town. Yes, indeed.
First time Lee went up in the air, wasn't it?
That's right, flying.
Well, that school is now called Kentish C.O.V. Primary School.
Aha.
And we've got the pupils in the studio. That's them over there.
Hey!
You had a good time?
Yes!
Yeah?
We have, anyway.
well,
they have another.
You had a good time? Thank you for lying so sincerely. Well, they've remade your video. They've remade Baggy Trousers.
Great.
But unfortunately, we've run out of time. We can't show it on the TV. Of course we can. And we will, kids. We will.
We will. That is all for tonight. Thanks to Suggs and Chaz. Good luck with the tour and the album, Wee Wee CC Ya Ya Dada, which is out on the
Very good,
29th of
Al.
October.
Yeah, brilliant.
Next week on this programme, Sir David Attenborough, Dawn French, Al Murray and Danny Baker's going to be here with us as well.
And before we go, as promised, here are the kids of Kentish Town, C.O.V. Primary, with their version of Baggy Trousers. See you next week. Good night.
Hooray!